Welcome to Nystrom Education, the leading producer of maps and globes in the United States. Exploring Where and Why is a hands-on program for social studies. This session is designed to provide you with an overview of your resources and how they work. Amy is one of our Nystrom certified facilitators. She uses Exploring Where and Why in her classroom and works for the company. Amy would love to share with you about Exploring Where and Why's kindergarten program, New Friends and New Places. Miss Amy will be with us throughout the 4 sessions that comprise EWW 101. Let's begin our exploration of your program by looking at the different components that comprise Exploring Where and Why, New Friends and New Places. First, you get a jumbo atlas. You also get a teacher's guide that will provide you with step-by-step directions on how to execute everything within the Exploring Where and Why program. The Jumbo Atlas is at the heart of your program. It is here where the students will engage in hands-on activities using the manipulatives associated with the Jumbo Atlas. Your floor map is going to be a big hit with the students. Students love getting down the floor, building and making their own communities. They'll be creating the buildings and maybe bringing in their toy cars and toy people from home, or maybe even things that you have in the classroom to add to the community itself. You'll be amazed at all that they'll learn while they're on the floor playing and learning. This is your literacy library. There are 12 books included in the set, both fiction and nonfiction. Now that you've looked at what all is included on the cart, let's take a look at your teacher's guide for New Friends and New Places. Inside your teacher's guides, one of the first things you'll find is an explanation of what Exploring Where and Why is. It is a hands-on, minds-on social studies program that reinforces reading, writing, math, and more. Exploring Where and Why is an activity-based learning program. We, those of us who teach social studies, know how important it is for students to be exposed to the vocabulary and content of the social studies. We want our students to be responsible citizens, to be sensitive to other people's culture, to use critical thinking, and to be successful. Those are also the characteristics behind what Exploring Where and Why strives to do. Here is an example from your teacher's guide regarding your scope and sequence. You'll see here that we address many different areas of the social studies, and sometimes the content that is introduced at the kindergarten level is again visited at the 1st, 2nd, and even the 3rd grade levels, building upon the background knowledge that students have learned the year before, an important feature in Exploring Where and Why. So let's take a little closer look at your teacher's guide. The tab pages that come in the front of each unit tell you how long you will spend on that particular unit. As you can see here, this session is developed for 1 week. Then you have a table of contents that gives you an idea of everything that's going to be taught throughout that particular week. Notice the icons at the bottom that describe the extension activities that you can include as part of your teaching using your New Friends and New Places program. On the back of each tab is a letter home that helps parents to know what's being taught and how they can extend the learning at home. These letters are available in Spanish on our website. I'll show that to you shortly. You have 6 units of study as part of your program. Each unit is broken down into lessons, and each lesson has 1 to 4 activities. Each of the activities lasts 15 to 20 minutes, making them very manageable for most any classroom. In the left-hand side bar of your lesson page is the objectives for the lesson, the objectives that you and your students will work to accomplish. After objectives, you see vocabulary. According to Dr. Robert Marzano, almost 55% of the necessary vocabulary for students to be successful in school comes from social studies. So as you can see, it is a key part of what we do in every lesson. After vocabulary, you see materials. This is what tells you for each lesson which materials of the program you will need to assemble in order to execute the lesson. And next is our Getting Started section. Getting Started helps the teacher provide for the students a way to connect their background knowledge to what they are going to be studying for the day. And then the Teaching section. The teaching section is broken down into step-by-step activities that you can follow gives you a great way to present a lesson without having to spend hours planning. As you can see, there is a summarizing and assessing section after the introduction of each lesson, and after that, a variety of lesson activities follow. Lessons in the Exploring Where and Why program are designed to provide you with opportunities for cross-curricular teaching. Here you can see that at the end of each lesson, there's an extending activity. The extending activities give you those opportunities for cross-curricular teaching. There's also a section here that provides you additional literature links, additional books that you might want to integrate with your reading. These are outside of the 12 books that are already provided. And as you can see, there's indication about the hands-on activities that tells you how the students will engage with those as well. As I mentioned earlier, there are 12 books as part of your Exploring Where and Why program, both fiction and nonfiction. Let's take a little further look. Each book in your Exploring Where and Why library is correlated to the activities with which it fits best. As you can see, many of the books fit more than one activity. I have found that a lot of teachers like to use the books in multiple places, as it helps to give the students a better understanding of the book itself, as well as understanding purpose for reading. As you can see here, this book has lesson plans for reading, writing, social studies, math, critical thinking, art, and music. Thank you for joining me today for Exploring Where and Why 101, Session 1, the Overview. To complete the course, please see the assignments here on this slide and send those to me at pgothard@nyströmeducation.com. I look forward to reading your assignments and seeing what all you have to share with us. Once I've read those assignments, I'll get your certificate of completion out to you right away. Again, thank you and enjoy your Exploring Where and Why program.